want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pounds. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see a man on his 8th NFL team, Ryan Fitzpatrick, and the Miami Dolphins, as they take on Dak Prescott and the defending NFC East champs, the Dallas Cowboys. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with the Miami Dolphins. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. It's been a great start to the season, back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, they come in at an early crossroads here, facing a tough opponent on the road where a loss would make them 0-3.
And when you start that way, doubts really start to creep into a locker room, and guys start to battle each other instead of worrying about winning games.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down here as the penalty flags come in right away, and we may have a face mask here right at the start. Got the hand caught up in the grill of the face mask. 15-yard penalty.
So tough for a defender. You're trying so hard to make a play, and the way that these offensive guys can move around, sometimes your hand gets into the wrong place.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's the man who's led the league in rushing twice in 3 seasons, Ezekiel Elliott. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Opening minute, and already a trip to the red zone. 1st and 10 at the 19. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Randall Cobb, his first touchdown of the new season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken about the 12. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here are the Dolphins now under first-time head coach Brian Flores. They'll be led by their veteran quarterback. He's been in the league for a while, since 2005, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
And frankly, this is the type of game that a great quarterback relishes, because 0-2 on the road, everything's against him and his team. No one can expect them to win. Sometimes you band together real tight in that situation, and if he plays really well, they've got a chance to get that done.
This is Kenyon Drake, the fourth-year man from Alabama. Sean Lee, the Pro Bowler, there for the tackle.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Fitzpatrick. They'll set up the screen to Drake. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Mike 20. Mike 5-4.
Fitzpatrick now, throw on first down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. His tight end, Dwayne Allen, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. Here are the starters defensively for the Cowboys. They played really well in the win last week over the Redskins.
They forced 7 turnovers.
How many?
7. I mean, think about that number now. That's supposed to be a lucky number, right? Lucky for one side, unlucky for the other.
A handoff to the right side. It's Drake. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. And the Cowboys here on 3rd down, bringing in an extra defensive back. From the shotgun, it's Fitzpatrick. And it's caught by Parker. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 43.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Throwing again on 2nd down. Fitzpatrick. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Play action now. Fitzpatrick. And he finds Stills, complete. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. And they keep those sticks moving forward, that time with a gain of 3. On first down, Drake. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Kenyon Drake, he was kind of underutilized last year when Adam Gase was head coach, only 7 starts, but now he's going to get a chance under new head coach Brian Flores to really showcase his talent. And down he goes. Fitzpatrick sacked. Defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
That's it, baby. You got what?
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
He had a good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Now Prescott. Going right side, he has Witten. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because they had to, because you're going to take the yards on that.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes and throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week. One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 43. Prescott now. Completes it to Jason Witten. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
I don't know whether I want to be a fly on the wall or not when they hear the explanation of how one of the bigger targets on the field, the tight end can be that wide open and uncovered downfield. Who blew that assignment?
Somebody did.
No doubt about it. There's no way you're not going to account for him.
Prescott on 1st down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Those are the touchdowns that aren't just scored on Sundays or on Monday night. Those are the ones that are scored during the week because they had that preparation and a great route run.
Oh, I love that observation because you don't just roll out on game day and say, okay, go run this route and let's get it done. That means exactly what you said. The practice had to occur beforehand, which led to the timing, which led to the touchdown.
Marr now to add the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now Fitzpatrick hit. It's out. He lost the football. And an alley. The big man. Get the oxygen tank ready. Touchdown, Dallas Cowboys. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week. He's smiling. Marr on for the extra point. And it's 21-3. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. Byron Jones in there to make the tackle. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. To throw is Fitzpatrick. Incomplete. This is Albert Wilson. And now a fumble. The ball's out. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. This will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again. Here I come again.
On first down, Elliott. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 21-3 is your score after 1. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10 from the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
Prescott off play action. Rolling to... And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Sack left, baby. Yum, 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 yum.
My, oh my, they've had some success bringing him off the edge. How about the gambling man who's the defensive coordinator? He's not just bringing pressure, he's bringing a...
Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Over the middle, Cooper with it. It'll be a gain of 17, but even with that, they'll be well short here for fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. A reminder, coming up later tonight, a lot of buzz about this game. The Browns, they've been doing some travel. Back-to-back primetime games for them. Monday night they were in New York. Now the Browns head to Los Angeles to take on the NFC champs, Browns and Rams. An 8:20 kickoff Eastern time, 5:20 in California. First down, Fitzpatrick. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Drake. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Devontae Parker, the intended receiver, but now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Fitzpatrick to throw it. Throw left side, complete. That's Drake. And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
On 4th down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. Back deep for the Cowboys, Tavon Austin. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. He'll return it from the 6. "21 yards. Well done on the return.
Let's go, boys. Go.
Amari Cooper and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. And he is closing in on the 100-yard mark for the day.
And it appears that he loved the fact that they're going to play this game earlier. You know, daytime, he's out there running around, feeling good about himself. Whatever his prep was coming in, he was able to get out there quick and fire away.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Prescott looks to throw on first. Over the middle, Amari Cooper, it's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper, and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what it said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they feel like if they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good.
So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. Pass on target, Prescott to Cooper. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 22 yards there, a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. To throw on 2nd and 10. Prescott to the end zone, but it's incomplete. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, and they're going to measure revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball. Yeah,
they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the first down. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. The kick by Marr is good. And that will extend the lead out to 24. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
7 yards there and a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Fitzpatrick. Allen's got it over the middle. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. To throw, Fitzpatrick toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Mike Gesicki, and it's 3rd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the gun, Fitzpatrick. And Stills over the middle. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Off the play fake here, Fitzpatrick. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Running from the shotgun with Gray. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
Now Fitzpatrick. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And the good news, his team's winning. The bad news, he hasn't had the game that he's hoped to, at least to this point here in the second quarter.
And a lot of that is pride, because these types of backs want to be in the center of all the action and leading their team to victory. They'll take the win right now.
Ezekiel Elliott gonna take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And on his way to the end zone, shedding the tackle, he would not be denied.
That's what's called finishing the run, making sure you power your way through. One-on-one tackle, no running back wants to go to the bench and say, I got stopped just short.
Marr now to add the extra point. And the lead will grow by one more. Well, I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they needed.
And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Off the edge, it's Tyrone Crawford with a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. And they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call. Oh, and the defender took some liberties there with a late hit, roughing the passer.
The league has done a great job of defining what is a late hit and illegal contact on a quarterback. The defenders really have to get in line.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
I got you.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. On third down, Fitzpatrick. On the left side, this is Stills. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And a big 32-yard play on third. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
55. Right there in the middle. 55. Focus, defense, focus. Watch twist.
A first down throw for Fitzpatrick. Over the middle, complete. It's Allen. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Looking to throw again on second down. Fitzpatrick, and he'll get it down this time to the 17. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The Dolphins on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Here's Fitzpatrick. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Drake. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Fitzpatrick again. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins are going to be forced to settle for 3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year.
And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But
this
you're going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. That's something we didn't see much of from Allen the last couple of years in New England. Heck, last season, 13 games, only 4 targets. But Miami going to try to get him more involved in the passing game as we saw there. You know he has the capability. You think back to 2012, breaking in with Indy. He had 45 catches that season. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Man, I got you. Man, I got you.
Fitzpatrick now. And over the middle, this is Parker. And the ball is knocked out. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Amari Cooper and the Cowboys set to take over once again.
Yeah, baby. We got it. We got it.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly
You
right.
like that, don't you? Now Fitzpatrick hit. It's out. He lost the football. And fortunately, he's able to reel it back in, but it's going to go down as a big loss here on the play.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
And it's taken in at the 9. So a change of possession here on the punt. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very...
Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, 84 yards. As his guys continue to pour it on. He's been having a great game, and that one right there, his best run so far, and it ends with 6 points.
And not only that, in his mind, what is he thinking? Can I get to 200 yards as well? Because he knows he's closing in on it. He may not know the exact number, but the best runners have a feel of what the yardage is that they're compiling, and he knows that he's getting close to that 200-yard mark now.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more, in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far...
Now Drake loses the football.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Fitzpatrick on first down. And Stills bringing it in. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Fitzpatrick throwing complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. A nice pickup on first down, 7 yards. Throwing on second and 3. Fitzpatrick. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Dwayne Allen, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Dolphins are in for 6.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that will shave 1 more off this lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Let's go. Do it.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are.
Let's get in there. Let's get in there.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches.
Get that quarterback, D-Line. Get that quarterback.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Cooper's got it. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first, so